Hello friends, welcome to Dr. Vet channel. I am Dr. P.R. Patel, Professor Head Veterinary Medicine. The today's topic is Toxoplasmosis Part 2. We have already seen Part 1. Now in Part 2 we will see clinical findings, lesions, diagnosis, treatment and control aspect of toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is a protozoal disease. This is a very important disease for those who keep the cats, especially men. Men may get infection by contamination of infected feces. It is also important for a clinician because clinician has to treat the cats. Paravents and other persons also may get infection. So from zoonotic point of view, this disease is very important. Most are the asymptomatic carriers. So we don't know which animal is infected, but may get infection. So be careful. Coming to the clinical findings, the clinical signs are non-specific. It is not specific at all and not characteristics. So to arrive at a definite diagnosis is very difficult because most of the cases are asymptomatic and subclinical because there is immunity status. The animal develop immunity immediately, but they carry the infection. First, we'll see the symptoms in cat. Cat as a definitive host, and it is usually a subclinical case. But few cases of acute symptoms are observed. The symptoms are diarrhea when gastrointestinal tract is involved, especially stomach and small intestine, icterus, anemia, fever, dyspnea, coughing, lymphadenitis. When the brain is involved, encephalitis, the symptoms are seizure and death in acute cases are also observed. Otherwise, the subclinical cases, they go on shedding the oocyst for a lifetime. Cat is a definitive host. Again, in dog, the symptoms are totally asymptomatic and not characteristic, not specific. Coughing, dyspnea, seizure, abortion, and other symptoms. Symptoms in pigs: losing of body weight, dyspnea, abortion, stillbirth. Symptoms in sheep and goat: the main symptom observed is abortion, anemia, fever, dyspnea, diarrhea, muscle tremors, and paresis of the hind legs. The symptoms in cattle and buffaloes: fever and enlargement of lymph nodes. In men, most of the men cases are asymptomatic. There is mild fever, epilepsy from convulsions, encephalitis, lymphadenitis, abortion, blindness when the eye is involved, and myositis. In this slide, we will see the postmortem lesions. There are gastrointestinal lesions in cats, and the lesions are granulomatous, eosinophilic, fibrosing gastritis. These symptoms, lesions are observed in cats. One thing is that the lesions are similar to parasite migration through the tissue. As like the other parasite, this parasite also migrate through the tissue and organs and causes the necrosis of a particular part or area. Some of the common lesions observed are meningoencephalitis, lymph node of the thorax and abdomen are enlarged and reddened. This is also a characteristic. Interstitial pneumonia, pulmonary edema, myocarditis, anemia, hepatic necrosis, hepatitis, abortion of sheep and goat is a characteristic, and characteristic 1 to 3 millimeter gray white necrotic foci are found on the cotyledons of the placenta. Ocular lesions of the retina. So lesions are found all over the body. The parasite migrate through many tissue and organ, and they produce necrosis in many organs and many tissues of the body. Diagnosis. The clinical signs are non-specific and non-characteristics. So to arrive at a definite diagnosis or conclusive diagnosis is not possible. Many animals remain subclinical or asymptomatic carrier. The biological method used are mice inoculation. The lymph fluid, muscles, placenta material are collected and inoculated in the mice. Various confirmatory serological tests are also available. They are complement fixation test, indirect hemagglutination test, fluorescent antibody test, ELISA, latex agglutination test, and more specific recently developed is the DNA test. That is more specific. More confirmatory is histolytic methods. Demonstration of parasites in the lymph node, muscles, and various tissues. This is the characteristic because clinician can see the parasite into the tissues. Coming to the treatment aspect, there is no satisfactory treatment, but some drugs are used and they show partial success. The sulfadiazine and pyrimethamine drug is widely used combination, and both these drugs act as a synergistically, and more success is observed with this type of treatment. Other drugs are diamino diphenyl sulfone, otavaquone, spiramycin, clindamycin, sulfonamide, trimethoprim, monensin, azithromycin. These drugs are tied with partial success. But most important and more successful treatment, of course, it is sulfadiazine and pyrimethamine combination. Control of toxoplasmosis can be achieved by three methods. They are epidemiological methods, chemotherapeutic methods, and immunization methods. We'll see some aspect on this in the next slides. Epidemiological method. for the prevention of toxoplasmosis in cat. Feeding of properly cooked meat to the cat. Important step. Cats should not be fed partially cooked or raw or uncooked meat. This proper cooking destroys the cyst and make it a parasite free. Young cats should be given preventive drugs. This is also important step. At regular intervals, give preventive drugs so that parasitemia is minimized to a great extent. This is important step. Cats should not be used for rodent control. In some of the houses, the cat is used for a rodent control. Rodent also get infection. So if the cat consume a infected rodent, then cat get infection, and when cat get infection, the man and other animals also get infection. Proper disposal of cat feces, either by burying or burning. This is also important method. This is a important route of transmission of toxoplasmosis. The parasites are excreted from cat in feces. Feces contaminate the surrounding soils, garden soils and other soils, and it contaminates food and water also. Another step is control of cat population in endemic areas. If more amount of toxoplasmosis is found in a particular area, that is endemic area, control of cat population is advisable. Epidemiological method for prevention of toxoplasmosis in man. Toxoplasma gondii is an important zoonotic parasite. The man get primary infection through contaminated food and water by feces of cat. Another important source of infection is pork or pig meat. The control steps are use only thoroughly cooked meat that destroys the cyst. Thorough cleaning of hands, instruments and utensils after handling a raw meat, because there are chances that raw meat may be infected. Take care while handling soil contaminated with cat feces. When cat makes feces anywhere in the garden or soil and it contaminates the garden soils or soils surrounding the house, especially pregnant ladies should take care while gardening to prevent congenital toxoplasmosis, because there are all the chances that a pregnant lady may transfer infection transplacentally to the kids. Thorough washing of vegetables that are brought from outside may contain infection. Avoid consumption of raw milk. For consumption, use properly heated or boiled milk. Control cockroaches, flies, and other insects. They also may carry the infection. Another important step for the control of toxoplasmosis is chemotherapeutic method. Use prophylactic drugs at regular interval in cat can minimize the infection to a great extent. It also prevents the infection also. Immunization method is not successful because no successful vaccine is available. So immunization method will not be working. Friends, share this information to the veterinarians. Requested to subscribe the channel. Thank you very much for observing the video and for the support to this channel. Next time we'll come with another protozoal disease. Thanks.